Welcome back. Now, every year for just a day, we paint the town red, literally, all in the name of love. Now, some could argue Valentine's Day is more of a commercial holiday to celebrate a superficial emotion. However, out of all of the couples that will be celebrating the day, very few, if any, can say their love story began on the day itself and by chance. In fact, according to a UK study, the odds of finding love on a given day is just 1 in 562 if you leave it entirely to fate. Tonight, we bring you the resilient love story of the Anabwanis. I found it so interesting and ironic that you met on Valentine's Day. It's not every day that you hear a couple or two individuals coming together on the day of love. But how did it happen? Sam and Judy still in disbelief on how it all started 15 years ago. It was Valentine's Day. A day, Judy says, didn't mean much to her back then, but little did she know would change her life. She was on her way home after visiting a sick patient in hospital with a friend.
So back in town, it's late, it's dark, there are no buses to my direction. So I kept on going different. So go to this stage, you'll find your matatus. I go there. Matatus are not here. Go to this other street. So I went to 3 places within the city looking for a matatu towards my direction so that I can also connect from there with a taxi to the house. So when I eventually found myself at Mpangano Street, where the vehicles were supposed to be, it was a multitude.
It seemed everyone had the same idea. The mad rush to get a bus home would eventually become overwhelming. But a concerned stranger would try to talk sense into the crowd.
I had a voice. Why are you struggling for space? You break your hand or your leg. For what? Just wait, a vehicle will come.
And before she knew it, the voice would draw closer. It was Sam.
When she, stood right beside me, there was an opportunity to talk to her. Although there was not much I was thinking about at that time. And the version that differs is that I let her get in, although she doesn't know I let her get in. So she got space because I let her get in.
Sam knew chivalry wasn't enough to boost his chances of seeing Judy again once she boarded the bus.
I think he stopped the matatu. The matatu was taking off. He stopped the matatu, gave the conductor his card to give me. I sat behind. I was the last person to get in. So he gave the conductor his card to give me. So I was wondering, the conductor is giving me something. I'm wondering, we've not paid yet, so what is he giving me? It's not yet changed. It's time for balances. Like, kuna mtu amenipatia kadi yake nikupatie. So I picked the card. And that time he was standing at the window saying, I want your number.
On my trainings, I've been told, when you give out a card, it's common sense for the other person to give you a card. So you flash out your card, and the other person will say, oh, have mine too. So I used that. Say, let me give out my card. You never know. You gather seeds.
So I just laughed. I also pulled out my card. I gave the conductor to give him. And I just laughed. I said, this is just funny.
And several coffee and lunch dates later, as they say, the rest is history. Sam and Judy would become official members of the marriage club, joining the 28,000 Kenyans who say I do every year. The sights and sounds of Olpejeta Conservancy in Nanyuki that happened to be the destination of choice for the young couple's honeymoon those many years ago. The honeymoon phase, though, wouldn't last long. Tough times would strike, and strike early, and strike hard.
2 weeks after we got married, we were all jobless. Jobs that friends gave during the wedding that kind of had a few savings here and there that saw us through the first few months. But it was a tough season. Suddenly you have no job, but you have been working. It was a tough season. All of you are in the house.
It was the last thing the Anabwanis needed, bearing in mind how expensive weddings can get. According to a report by media and lifestyle company Samantha Bridal, Kenyans spent 15 billion shillings on weddings in 2018 alone. The big day often seeing couples going into big debt to cover costs. Overcoming that first major hurdle of financial woes brought out a far more valuable lesson that has sustained the couple to this day.
I can't say, like in football, if I'm not a defender, so I'm a striker, my work is just to score goals. But when we are being attacked, I have to come and help the defender so that we can defend. Because once we lose, the loss is not for the goalkeeper, it's for all of us.
The attacks kept coming, this time in the form of a health scare.
The brain tumor was heavy.
It was.
The brain.
She had been sick for quite some time.
We received the diagnosis from the neurosurgeon. It was scary. I saw like this is a death sentence.
They would eventually opt for treatment in India. Judy is now tumor-free. Her body is still weak, but her bond with Sam stronger than ever, despite the challenges.
Marriage is a commitment, for better, for worse.
And as they approach another Valentine's Day, the Anabwanis are reminded of how it all started. A journey paved with sacrifice, faith, resilience, and most importantly, love.